friends, it's Sonia from Jug Monkey Paint Company. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another vlog. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, you hear from me right here on the channel, vlog style, another place for us to hang out, maybe dive a little bit deeper into some topics that I talk about on Facebook. You guys see me paint and create over there, but I get a lot of questions behind the scenes. It takes a little bit more time to be able to answer them, or just techniques I want to share with you guys, or take you on a trip with me, all kinds of goodness. So thank you for being here. Make sure you hit the bell so that you don't miss another upload, and also I love to hear from you guys, so I'd love it if you comment below and let me know if this vlog has helped you. So this vlog in particular, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into the topic of wax and poly. So I have another vlog right here on my channel, go look for it, wax versus poly, and basically I talk to you guys about, like, when do I use what, Sonia? Because that's a big question, right? Like, when do I use my poly and when do I use my wax? And so basically, in a nutshell, go take a listen to that vlog so you really understand it, but in a nutshell, high traffic pieces, you're gonna wanna, it's gonna demand a lot of extra protection, so you're gonna wanna use the poly. In cases where you have something that's more decorative or it's not really getting a whole lot of use, it's just kind of sitting and looking pretty in the corner, you know what I mean? Decor on the wall, a stand that maybe just has a lamp on it, right? And there's not a lot of pushing and pulling and friction going on with it. Go ahead and grab your monkey shine and buff that thing up and have it done in no time flat, right? But in this vlog today, I wanted to go even deeper and talk to you guys about, okay, so why did I just say those two things? Like, what is the difference between our monkey shine all natural wax oil finish compared to Mr. Banana Peel right here, looking all fine, right? Just like, think about banana peel covers, right? Like a banana peel covers the cover, right? So that's a great, great way to think about it too. So I want to talk to you guys about the difference between the two of those and why I suggest using Mr. Banana Peel over Ms. Monkey Shine, Miss Petunia here, when it comes to working on your pieces and sealing them, because both are complete different sealers, okay? So never do they cross. You don't want to be combining both of them. They're both two different styles, okay? And so Mr. Poly over here, he is water-based, Mr. Banana Peel, okay? Our water-based, matte, beautiful finish. You guys have been telling us you love it, and it's one of our newest products. And then Monkey Shine over here, what did I just say? It's a wax, beeswax oil finish, right? So did you ever, and this one is, what did I say? Water-based. Did you ever hear like how oil and water doesn't mix? So that's why you never want to have both going on. You pick either one or the other based on what I told you in the other vlog, is it high traffic or not? And today I'm going to explain a little bit more because, as I just touched on, so the Monkey Shine right here, let's take a nice, basically it's like lip balm that you would put on a rich, luxurious lip balm that you would put on your lips to protect and nourish your piece, okay? But you got a piece of furniture, not a piece of skin or lips going on, right? So, but the difference is, and our Monkey Shine is not, even in, if you think about it in the chapstick kind of world, do you ever have like chapsticks, they're not all created equal, right? Where you put it on, it goes white and pasty, or it dries in no time flat, or it cracks and your lips don't even feel like they've been healed or anything good. And then you find yourself something really good to put on your lips and you're like so much more pleased with that, right? This is like fantastic, luxurious lip balm for your furniture. It's beautiful. So when you put it on, and how you put it on, of course, is you're going to use a wax brush. You're going to dip it into it, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to buff it all over the top of your piece, right? Put it all over your piece, and then you're going to take a nice buffing cloth, and all these products, by the way, are on our website at junkmonkeypaint.com. So make sure you pick yourself up the brush, and then the can, and then the rag, okay? So you're gonna want all those parts, and this goes a very, very long way because it is so rich. But basically what happens is when you're buffing this into your piece, those oils suck in and saturate, and they go down, okay? They put roots down in your piece. The reason why you go in circles when you put it on is because you're basically hitting that paint pour, that, that open paint pour, because our chalky style paint and our milk paint are porous paints. That's how we get that matte, flat, old-time look that you guys love, right? So you want to plug all the pores, and you go in circles to hit them from all the different directions, okay? So this kind of looks like this move, all right? You're buffing it just like you, I don't know, you buff your car, right? Wax on, wax off. So you're waxing on this way, and then you're going to buff off with this way. But all those oils that you're pushing down and clogging off all those pores of the paint, that's the process that you do. So those oils go in. and you buff off anything that's left on the top excess. So you don't want to feel like you have chapstick on your furniture, right? You want everything to be absorbed into it. So you put it on, it sucks into it, and then you buff off anything that's left on the top, okay? And so what that does is it repels things now. So, you know, if for light traffic use, if you waste water on your piece, all those pores are clogged off, you've polished your piece, you've buffed it really good with your cloth as the second step of that, and now it's sealed off, right? But everything has gone into the pores, and now you just have just a beautiful layer of a seal all over it. And yes, you can apply more. Like, I often think about, like, when I wax my pieces of furniture, like, it's up to you if you want to reseal them, but for me, sometimes when I use nourishing products, for example, I'll use the example of Old English, because a lot of us know about how that works, right? That's something that you can put on, like, maybe a non-painted surface, right? And you just kind of want to revive something that's old and antique. It might be browny frowny, but it's beautiful in its own way, and you just don't want to paint it, right? Because it's beautiful, it's an antique, and maybe you want to keep it and preserve it in that manner. And so some of us in the past may have used Old English. Now, by the way, you can use your Monkey Shine. It's dual proof, right? But you put your Old English on, and what happens? Your piece just revives. It's, you know, the Old English, sometimes it has oils in it, and well, it always has oils in it, but also sometimes has like color into it as well. So, but it revives it, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. And then maybe a year down the road, you're spring cleaning, you're washing the walls, you're opening the windows, and you just kind of want to clean that piece over again and polish it again, right? So that's what you want to think about for your wax, because if your piece is sitting next to heat and a window, and that wax can all absorb, and so after a while, maybe you want to nourish your piece again. Basically, is it thirsty? Do you want to water it again, right? You don't have to, but it will again revive it and keep everything looking nice and sharp, okay? When it comes to the poly though, what the poly does is not only does it suck into the piece, and no, you do not have to go in circles, completely different technique. For here, you're gonna wanna use a brush that's nice and soft and flowy, okay? So for example, my favorite brush, I actually have linked on my, over on my website at junkmonkeypaint.com, click Sonia's favorite things, and you'll see my brush that I use for paint and poly, and it's this little guy here. I love him. This one here, the one that I have linked, you can see he's been used and abused, and I keep washing it, and I'm using him over and over again. But it has a rubber handle. It is so nice to use for somebody as a painter and doesn't want to get calluses right here, because they do a lot of painting and creating and crafting. It's nice and short, so that means you can reach in around, doesn't have a long handle, so you can reach really easy in between like chair parts or anywhere you need to get your hand, right? This is not clicking and clacking off. You can't feel like you can get your brush in there. It's nice and soft, which is so important, okay? And I'll talk about that in a second, but it also has a nice chiseled edge. So this brush here is awesome, and I'm gonna tell you that for, I think it's like $5 or $6 to the one that I have linked on for the same one that I have. You cannot beat that, right? And then if you're using our poly in our paint products, you're gonna know that they're all water-based, which means you can clean them out with some soap and water. The soap that I use is also on our website, the lye soap that I use. So, you know, you have this and you can use it over and over again, all right? But when you're putting your poly on, you do not want to go in circles. Instead, you want to dip it. You want to make sure you stir your poly so everything is all combined again, because just like natural peanut butter separates, things that sit for a while can also separate if they have particles that are a little heavier than others and they go to the bottom, right? You want to make sure your poly is at full force to protect your piece. So do a nice stir and then go ahead with a soft brush. Now, this is the brush that I have and that I recommend. If you have a brush already in your stash, maybe you've bought a bunch or maybe you're out going to buy a bunch and you want to go locally, get that brush that I recommend if you can find it over on junkmonkeypaint.com. Click Sonia's favorite things in the menu bar there. But I will tell you, this is one that I found at my Dollar Tree, okay? And I have a lot of these because when I was doing paint classes regularly and paint nights, and the ladies would come over and we would seal a piece, these were so cheap to get, but they'd done the job because they were so soft and flowy. Now this one's been used a lot, but basically when you first buy a brush, if you feel like you can put it up to your face and it just kind of like whooshes off your face, you know what I'm saying? Like a really soft, flowy blush brush. That's what you want, because if you go with a brush that's going to be too, so that kind of like has flowiness to it, right? This one here is a little bit harder. It's a plastic bristle. So what can happen is if you put too much poly down and you wipe it too many times, those hard bristles can take paint with it. It can take your underlayer of paint, okay? And I'll do a whole other vlog on tips to avoid that sort of thing, okay? But in a nutshell, I want you to know the difference between wax and poly in here. But when you do put your poly on, you're gonna wanna go in soft, quick, light strokes and move on. Do not keep going back over what you've just done. And you also want to let that light layer dry. Don't mess with it too much. Done is done. And then come back, okay? Catch any drips or anything like that. Let it dry and then come back for a second coat versus doing like heavy coats of one, okay? That's gonna lead to problems, okay? Less is more and always good. So as an example, you know, this is a cabinet door here that I used to have for a sample when I painted kitchen cabinets for people very regularly for like almost a 2-year period. A cabinet door is gonna need something that is much more protective, all right? So this is when you're gonna use your banana peel poly. All right, sound good? Now, because this is an actual door, you see the sheen that's on it, that's gonna get a nice use, right? Then here's one that I sealed with Monkey Shine. The reason why I seal with Monkey Shine, it's got an owl. Nobody's putting this up on their kitchen, right? There's no oils, there's no, you know, food to protect it from, all the stuff that reason why your kitchen cabinets get washed down. A decorative owl that's gonna sit really cute next to, on a stand next to some florals is not going to need as much protection. You see what I'm saying? Something like this here. This is a platter that we painted in distressed, I think right here on our channel, or maybe over on our Facebook page, which go follow me over there. You're missing lots of stuff if you're not on Facebook. But anyway, this is sealed with Monkey Shine because it's decorative, right? So remember, like think about the use for what it's gonna get and then decide from there how you're going to seal. So for example, this is a pop quiz. This is kind of like a bit of a different one, right? So like this one here, this is canvas art, but I'm not gonna seal with my Monkey Shine for this here. I'm gonna seal with a poly to give it a nice protection, okay? So because this is a different style of wall art and I wanted to have a, I don't want the stuff to suck into my canvas. I wanna have a nice layer of outer protection and it will also give it a nice sheen as well. So I'm gonna go and paint these with a poly. So this is gonna be, as I knock this out today, by the way, this is, this right here is a project or projects that I did yesterday as I filmed for my Coach and Create Club. Every Friday, well, I should back up. Every Monday we talk business strategy, taking it from hobby to business. And you know, if you have dreams of being your own entrepreneur and you just want to be able to have your own business, like where do you start and what do you do and what should you be focusing on, right? Those are all the things. So I take you with me. I take you with me under my wing, answer all your questions, and you can ask me about my business and what I do, and I teach you as we go all the things that I am doing to be able to, you know, live my creative dreams and do what I love to do, which is create and be able to do it for a living, right? So, but every Monday we talk a different business topic. Every Wednesday I come in and take any of your questions that you have left for me in that private coaching group. We also started a book club. So basically every Wednesday as well, we talk about our book of the month and what we can take and glean from it in terms of, you know, just inspiring things that inspire you in life and in business. And then on Fridays, I always do a paint technique, share some, just some painting with you guys, whether it's furniture, whether it's a technique. This is a really cool abstract technique that is the that's a tutorial this Friday. So I just filmed it yesterday, and now for the purposes, since we're talking about poly, I'm gonna poly them right here. So I decided not to do Monkey Shine on here because it's a different sort of style. This is artwork, okay? So this is probably the only exception to when I don't use my poly. Now, or when I don't use my Monkey Shine, right? Because you guys know that it's so easy. But I've got my brush, I put my poly on it. You're gonna see that it is it looks like a milky kind of color. That will actually be a guide for you to know what you have polyed and what you haven't polyed, but it dries clear. So now I'm gonna go ahead and remember how I said oils saturate and go into. Poly goes into but forms an outer layer of protection. So this is artwork, so I wanna have it protected. So it's so easy to apply. It's gonna dry clear. And how easy is that? So that's the big thing, the big difference about poly and our Monkey Shine is that poly, not only does it get into the pores, but it forms an outer layer of protection. Does that make sense? Are you good with that? So I want an outer layer of protection for this piece of artwork. And I love that little sheen that it gives me right there. I love that. Could you use either? Yes. For me personally, I'm just gonna do this because if I've done artwork on a canvas, then I like my artwork to look like, you know, really cool, an artwork finish, which typically on artwork you'd see like maybe like a varnish style finish. So if you got Mr. Banana Peel in your stash and you're using our paints to do artwork, just use your water-based Mr. Banana Peel to go ahead and seal how nice that is. Can you see I haven't done this section, but this is really nice sheen onto it, right? All right, let's go ahead and put it over. Again, light strokes. I am not going back over what I just polyed, and now I'm gonna go ahead and do my sides real lightly as well. And if I would need a second coat, which I won't because this is artwork, but if this was a tabletop, if this was cabinet doors, then you better believe I'm gonna put on at least a second, if not third coat of poly, because I want, you know, I want to preserve my work, right? So if I did this look on a table, which you could totally do, you need to get in my club and learn how to do all these extra little things. So if you think I teach you a lot on my Facebook page, there's a whole lot more going down in that group. Now make sure you just wash this, and way to go. So now they are both done, they will dry, and they are ready. I love it. Isn't this pretty cool? I call this my abstract paint pool technique, and it's beautiful. So what's really cool is that if you're painting with our junk monkey, this is chalky style paint. Mr. Pickles, he stays and behaves and, you know, stays where he's supposed to go. Mrs. Petunia, on the other hand, she tends to be a little bit crazy and can chip and crack. So for this look, I want it more controlled, so I use the chalky style paint. But just to know that, you know, you can do furniture to match now your artwork, right? So you could do your artwork and, you know, hang this above something that you've painted in a beautiful, like, imagine this was like, you know, you got a beautiful Bahama Jade stand that you just painted, and now you create your own artwork to go with it. Like, hello, how gorgeous is that? So fun. So hopefully this has been helpful to you guys today. I'm just gonna let these sit out and dry here, and then they will be fully done. And yeah, then I can put them on my wall. You'll see them magically appear behind me on my wall. So I love that. So just always remember, all right, always remember that Monkey Shine is for the projects that are more decorative, like wood, because it's oil and it's gonna suck in, and it's going to preserve and really help take care of the wood, nourish the wood, right? Poly is more something that goes into the pores. You can use it over any surface. Just be light, be quick, use a soft brush, but it also forms an outer layer of protection. So when you feel like you need that extra protection, that's when you're gonna use the poly. So hopefully that makes sense, and you guys maybe have learned a few things today. Thank you for hanging out with me. I will see you guys again on Friday here on the vlog, and yeah, tomorrow I leave for the drive back to Canada, making my way back to my home of Newfoundland, and so I think on Friday there might be a ferry ride. So make sure you watch that vlog and see all the behind the scenes action of my trip back home, and I show you where I get lots of my inspiration from. All right, you guys take care. See you then. Bye.